All right. Well, looks like wait for people to get on here. Hey, what's up, respectful MCU fan? Looks like you're the first person here. All right. Hopefully more people will show up soon. Oop, I should leave this. Oh, sorry, I'm posting this in the Discord thing, so I'll be there in... Yay, Dark Synovia showed up! Greedo shot first. Changed my mind. All right, we also got Joe Cool 1818 who asks, will Disney reboot the sequel trilogy someday? You know, honestly, I see there's probably one day they'll just like reboot the entirety of canon again. That's what it seems like they'll do, at least. Whew. So, how was everyone doing so far? Man, the last few weeks, no, month have been crazy. Oh, hey, what's up? What's up, Avalon? Direction of E says rebooting the sequels is more trouble than it's worth. It's better to move on. Yeah, the current sequels, it's just gonna be a mess. Oh, it looks like Thrawn is here. What's up, Thrawn? All right, General. Hopefully you'll be able to make it for more of my next month's stream. Yeah, I'm kind of worried about Phantom Menace just getting in here. But I'm not afraid of them. So, man, I can't believe that Rise of Skywalker comes out in like 2 months. And it's so funny is, yeah, like I said, it's just so funny how I'm really, really looking forward to this movie. Despite the fact that um they're gonna heavily rip off like Dark Empire and all this other stuff. Like I'm interested. All right, let's see what the chat is saying. Luke Warren says, George Lucas forever. Screw the toxic Gen Xers who bash the prequels. Yeah, down with them. Down with all those whiny people who didn't get their way and got their headcanon ruined. A respectful MCU fan says, Rey did nothing wrong. Since she's a Mary Sue. Yeah, she can't do anything wrong. All right, our General says, Iron You, me, and King will react in the next episode. Oh, is it really coming out on October 21st? Whew, I'm looking forward to that. Order 66, all of them. Wipe them out. All of them. Beta Crepe says, Meme Wars Episode 3 coming up. Oh, yeah. And man, next month we have oh yes, it's gonna be great. Oh hey, Sub Money, what's up? So anyway, what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, next month. Next month we got for Star Wars. We have Fallen Order, which again, Fallen Order does look like it has potential. I'm just crossing my fingers so hard that they won't screw up that game. And I'm also kind of hoping with that game they have like more Inquisitors that they introduced in the comics that weren't like in Rebels, because I remember there's this one Inquisitor from the comics that she made a brief cameo in the last trailer they released for the Fallen Order game. But to be honest, I'm actually a little bit more excited for The Mandalorian than I am for Fallen Order. Especially considering it's EA and we know about EA and how much they suck as a game company from the past few years. Oh man, what else? And I think another reason why I'm looking forward to The Mandalorian over Fallen Order is because I've always wanted there to be a live action Star Wars television series. Like, I remember since the late 2000s, I've always dreamed about something like that. Because there's so much storytelling you can do visually over like a movie. In fact, I would have rather have like, more live action series than, like a sequel trilogy. Oh, there's a bunch of people in the chat now, so I think I will read what they say. All right, Luke Warren says, then those same people went so far as to praise TLJ. I enjoy that movie as a means of entertainment. However, it's very hypocritical. And then respectful MCU fan says, "From my point of view, the sand is coarse." Joe Cool says Kylo Ren will probably kill the Emperor and get redeemed since Jar Jar Abrams likes to rip off the original trilogy. Yeah, probably Rey and Kylo Ren will team up together and kill the Emperor, and he'll probably, yeah, the Emperor will probably go down like a bitch. To be honest. Some money says nothing much, you know? How about you? I just got off of work early so I can do the stream at the time I wanted. Beta Crepe, it's gonna be great, it's gonna be great, it's gonna be great. And then, all right, what was I? Luke Warren says, I will speak my mind if Fallen Order disappoints me. I am gonna get an Xbox at the end of the month, hopefully, and that's probably what I'm gonna get it on. However, I only get it if I do hear good things about it. I'm gonna wait, you know, I'm not gonna spoil anything for the game. I'm just gonna look at reviews and what people say, and then we'll see what happens. Somebody says the Phantom Menace talks crap about Rian Johnson. What about J.J. Abrams? He ruined the sequels. There's a lot of YouTubers that don't like The Force Awakens. You know what's funny is a lot of these Phantom Menacers, they actually like TFA. It wasn't until TLJ that they were disappointed and such. Darksnovia says EA ruins everything. They're like poison. I mean, like, I remember we talked about Activision too, how sometimes they can be worse, but EA is pretty bad too. Luke Warren says, I'm the exact opposite. I've never been crazy into Mandalorians. However, maybe Legends can change my mind. Yeah, if you read more Legends stuff with the Mandalorians, it could change your mind. Especially if you're used to like TCW's depiction of Mandalorians, which most Star Wars fans would be familiar with. Oop, I went down. Somebody actually wants to see the Mandalorian TV show. Well, I'm glad you're with me there. Respectful MCU fans, as the birth of Luke and Leia always makes him shed tears. Aww. And Dark Sinovia says, I hope he does get redeemed because it will trigger Stephanie Janisek. That it will. She's probably going to make like 100 videos on it, just like she makes 100 videos about Raylo. Dollar Film says there's like 200,500 and odd so dollars raised by 39 donors for the billboards. Wow. Yeah, you think it'd be more. Yeah, everything does seem to trigger her. Beta Crepe. Yeah, I completely agree with you, Joe Cool. Darth Maul should have stayed dead after episode 1. Like, one of the dumbest excuses I hear people say for why he brought, or for why Maul should be brought back, or I mean, or just like, you know, they defend him being brought back is, oh, so they can develop his character more. We didn't get to see much of him in episode 1. I'm like, there was expanded universe books and comics that expanded on Darth Maul. Read those. So that excuse is just pointless. Yeah, some money. It would actually make Rey interesting if she fell to the dark side. It would be a great twist, and I'd totally go for it. Hey, what's that, AK Master? And somebody wants her origins to be from Palpatine. Like, how so? Is she like a clone created by Palpatine, or is she like a direct descendant? Hey, what's up, Audio? Great to have you here. And Alessandro Fabiano, what's up? Back to AK. Didn't miss much. We're just chilling here. Luke Warren asks, how much are you willing to bet Jedi Fallen Order has Xbox exclusive content? I say that given how every scrap of gameplay we have for Jedi Fallen Order was recorded with an Xbox. That's an interesting theory. I do know that there's like all this DLC content. Like you can get different lightsaber hilts. You can get a different lightsaber color. So wait, if gameplay footage is canon, then what lightsaber color did he actually have? Or what was his definitive lightsaber hilt and color? Oh man, it's a huge mess. And Luke Warren also says he's guilty on having let TCW brainwash him. He's only 4 chapters into Kenobi. He's enjoying it. Wow. I actually don't have that book. At one point I should get it. Audio Architect. Wait, you hope for a Kylo Ren redemption? I mean, remember what Dark Synovia said. He kind of wants a certain person to get triggered by it. All right. All right, General. You take care, my dude. And then Dark Synovia. Of course I hope for a Kylo Ren redemption. Stephanie Jancic is a man-child, and seeing her do 200 videos would be amusing to me. That chick is mentally deranged. Oh, someone, you want her to be like a descendant. Like, he had a relationship with someone, and then she was born. Like, she was maybe like Palpatine's granddaughter. All right. Audio Architect argues that TCW and Rebels had more chances to develop Maul than the pre-Episode 1 material, because it doesn't have to end with his Phantom Menace self. Well, I mean, I guess so. Oh, who's Stephanie Janicek? She's actually a Phantom Menacer. She's like this Gen X Phantom Menacer. Audio Architect. Says he's super against the Kylo Ren redemption because fascist sympathization. is a problem nowadays. And yeah, you're right. He really doesn't have any redeeming character traits. I mean, besides deciding not to kill his mom, but then again, he let those two Imperial pilots do it, so yeah, Dark Zenobia, he was never meant to be this a real deep character. He was just a lackey. It just annoys me how prequel haters they act like they want Darth Maul to be developed and they act like he's the main villain when it's like it's freaking Sidious. It's obvious. Where was I? Luke Warren says, for example, Batman Arkham Knight's pre-release gameplay was on PS4, and it has PS4 exclusive content. We'll see. We'll see what they do, Luke. Or yeah, Submoney wants Rey to be Palpatine's granddaughter or father. All right. Yeah, Alessandro. That would be really awesome if we got a show during the dark times that was tied in with The Force Unleashed. In fact, wasn't that kind of what George Lucas's Underworld show was going to be? That does kind of sound like it. Oh, don't worry, Luke. Many of me, including some of my buddies, we've watched Phantom Menace content before, so you're not alone. You're not the only one who's guilty of watching it. Yeah, Alessandro, it would have fitted with the lore. Submoney wants an expanded universe television show. That's from the books that takes place after Return of the Jedi. Like, are you talking about like an adaptation of the books? Like, take certain book series and adapt it, or what exactly are you talking about? Yeah, if Maul was a Disney canon only thing, there wouldn't be much of a problem with it. But the problem is, people, is there's so many legend sources that state that Darth Maul is dead. Like the Episode 3 novelization says it. There's several source books that says he's dead. Um, the Last of the Jedi novel number 4, Death on Naboo, states that Darth Maul is dead. So yeah. Yeah, respectful MCU fan. Popularity was a problem with this. Oops. Exactly, audio. Just because like people like fascists and dictators would do that doesn't make them redeemable, because a lot of those people have murdered tons. Somebody asks, what if Sidious wins? If he wins and destroyed them both or turned Rey to the dark side, and Palpatine still lives to rule the galaxy, I'll be happy. Like a real dark side ending. Oh man. Expectations subverted. All of us to some extent were infected with their disease. And we were freed when we reached the age of reason. Yep. Joe Cool. Yeah, that would be really awesome if they did an R-rated Star Wars movie. I doubt they would, because Disney wants to try and look all family friendly and all. But honestly, if they did release something like an adaptation of the Darth Bane trilogy into a movie, that would have to be R-rated, because, I mean, spoiler alert for those of you who haven't read it, the very first chapter has a guy's finger getting bit off. It's pretty brutal. Alessandro wishes Palpatine was never revived in Legends and canon. It was unnecessary, but again, I don't hate Dark Empire. And he also says it ruins Anakin's redemption. That's debatable, especially in the expanded universe, because the entire point of his redemption was that so Luke could live to rebuild the Jedi Order, and that's exactly what he did in the expanded universe. And also his death left a vacuum so that the Empire collapsed in on itself and the New Republic would fill that vacuum. So honestly, the new canon ruins the sacrifice a lot more, if you ask me. But that's just my opinion. Feel free to disagree. Oh yeah, okay. Thanks for clarifying, some money. So you want TV shows based on the novels? All right. That's a funny story, Luke. Did you listen to the whole Star Wars only uh, thing where he's like that stolen Dark Sinovia clip where he says Star Wars only? I don't know what the f your problem is. I guess that was good for something, even though it's stupid that Star Wars only continues to use that. But it's cool you're among us, dude. Glad to have you aboard. Yeah, that's true, Dark Sinovia. There's like with Dark Empires, either a love it or hate it thing among expanded universe fans. Yeah, our audio. That's fair enough. Like I said, they didn't have to do it, but What would you rather have Dark Empire end up being? The whole thing about the Darth Vader imposter, or would you rather have Palpatine? Honestly, Dark Empire would be boring if it was Darth Vader imposter. I'm kind of glad that George Lucas told them to do that instead. AKA Master asks, Aryan, you should react to Major Lee's Star Wars videos. He's a bigger Disney Star Wars show than Star Wars Explained. Hello, Greedo and Chris Stuckman. Whew. Bigger than them, you say? Well, I must say I'm kind of interested now. Oh, just a sec, guys. Someone's messaging me. All right, I'm back. Dark Shinovia says he does love Darth Sidious. Yeah, a lot of people. Yeah, Dark Empire 1 was the best, people. Yep, aka subverting expectations is now a meme. Man, whenever I hear the word expectations being subverted, I now kind of cringe. I'm just like, yeah, some money. I'm okay with people saying they didn't like Dark Empire as well. I mean, I will defend it, but in the end, if people don't like it, that's fine, because there's some people who don't even like the Thrawn trilogy. Just like some expanded universe fans only like Old Republic era, and everything else they don't care about. Luke Warren, yeah, they. I'd love to see like limb dismemberment, kind of like in Jedi Outcast and Jedi Academy. That was awesome. Being able to just cut apart people, and I mean, they don't have to have any blood and gore. Oh yes, Snoke. He was cut into. Oh, looks like Logan has shown up. I'm okay with headcanon sub money. It's just kind of depends. Yeah, when like some people do try to push their headcanon, and it can get annoying. Yeah, Logan, the old canon did contradict the movies, but guess what, buddy? Guess what they did? They retconned and fixed those contradictions. So, poof, they're gone. All right, just a second. All right. Where was I? AKA Master says if Star Wars only does get money for his videos, he better give some of that money to Dark Zenobia. Well, yeah, because he's technically stealing something from a different creator. All right, Audio Architect says, Iron, is there anything you would genuinely want to see in episode 9? Like I said, make Rey interesting. And honestly, I do want to see Palpatine come back just so the shills and expanded universe haters can go, duh! And try to spin on their heads to defend it. Yes, I remember that video review. He was like, "Who's the guy I use?" And of course, Star Wars only to this day is still has his head up his butt and in the sand and is on the same level as flat earthers denying that the expanded universe was canon. Joe Cool says Mara Jade will always be a better character than Rey. Yep. As someone who's read the Thrawn trilogy, played Mysteries of the Sith, and read the Jedi Academy trilogy and a little bit of I Jedi, she's a fantastic character. There's this idiot. Oh, so anyway, yeah, there was this idiot on my channel that claimed, "Ooh, she's like this shoehorned forced romance character." I'm like, he said other dumb shit about Marge, and I'm like, did you even read the expanded universe? Because, dude, her character is none of the things you said. I'm sorry. I'm having a little coffee that I got from Starbucks. Oop, looks like people are owning Logan. Oh, Avalon. I do like Dark Empire too. That's like the only. Yeah, it's like the only Dark Empire sequel I like. Like when I was reading 3, I'm just like, oh, they're just dragging this on. It's like a freaking cash grab. Oh, more people owning Logan. I heard the campaign in Battlefront 2 sub money was really short. And when they first showed us everything, it looked like, oh, we're gonna get, from the Imperials, a point of view from the Imperials. But nope, they had to do this whole forced side switching story. More people owning Logan. Oh, Avalon, you don't think Dark Empire 1 is the best? Which one do you think is the best, Avalon? More people owning Logan? Snoke got mauled. You know what's funny, Dark Sinovia? Logan claims he hates the Phantom Menace, but his behavior is so similar to like one of those people. I find it quite hilarious. Yeah, at this point, they pretty much failed at ever trying to make her interesting. They should have done that in the last the last train wreck. They could have done something there, but we all know what Ryan Johnson had to do. Avalon says the counterfeit sequel trilogy was dead from the start. Yep. Can't argue with that. Submoney asks if I've ever heard of coffee cake. Oh yeah, it's quite delicious. Yeah, Luke, I agree. I would have loved to have a physical release of Outcast and Jedi Academy for the re-release. And I've played the Switch version, and the only problem I have is like the controls. It's basically the PC controls, but on a console. So there's no like auto aim, and you have to. I don't know. I'm kind of sad they didn't include the Outcast multiplayer, but I am looking forward to the re-release of Jedi Academy. Ooh, respectful MCU fan, you dealing with Boa Man? I remember that guy used to troll Dark Sinovia all the time. And I looked up Bowman's videos, and he's so freaking weird. I'm like, what is up with that guy? All right, where was I? That's pretty hilarious. Kylo Ren, the poor man Zuko. Hey, comparing him to Zuko, that's an insult. He's not comparable to Zuko whatsoever, because at least Zuko is sympathetic and we know why he's the way he is, whereas with Kylo Ren, we have to read non-movie material to know more about, how he got to be the way he is. Papa Wedge says he likes Dark Empire 2 a lot. We got info about the old Jedi. We learned about Ossus. Yeah, I agree. That's some of the reasons why I do like Dark Empire 2. I also really like that it's like we see Luke Skywalker attempt to like rebuild the Jedi Order. He finds like all these people like that. He finds Cam Solusar, those two Isana youth, that weird guy, and Pada J.S. Brand. And I thought also Executor Cedrus was kind of a badass. Although I was kind of disappointed that he died so quickly, to be honest. Audio Architect wants me to react to a fan edit, not by Ivan Ortega, that tries to make Luke's most controversial action in TLJ more understandable. Audio Architect, if you could leave a link to that in the comment section after the stream is over, that would be really helpful because I'd love to react to that. Oops. Where was I? All right, Avalon, you like Dark Empire? I mean, 2. Dark Empire 2. Oh man, people really want Legends characters in EA Battlefront 2. Ugh. No, keep that far away. Papa Wedge says Empire's End felt very rushed. I agree with that. Which is one of my biggest problems with Dark Empire 3. AK Master asks, are you going to see Rian Johnson's latest movie, Knives Out? Probably not. I don't know anything about it, so... Oh yeah, Papa Wedge. All 3 of those deaths are quite poetic. That would be funny if you did call them out for calling it fake Luke Warren. But yeah, dude, you should get Marvel 108. In fact, it's funny, I bought it, but I haven't read it yet because I haven't read like all the old Marvel comics through all the way through. Joe Cool. Oh, sorry. Joe Cool asks, how will Hell Greedo defend Palpatine's return in Episode 9? He'll probably claim that in some way it's somehow better than Dark Empire did it. Because I've heard Logan try to say something like that. It was either Logan or Darth Grumpy. Who said that? I forgot. Or it might have been someone else. Yeah. When Palpatine finally gets like trapped by all those Jedi spirits, he'll be like in eternal torture in hell forever. And he does deserve it for what a freaking bastard he is. not just for splitting up Anakin and Padme, all the deaths he's caused, he deserves that eternal torture. Grand Admiral Thrawn asks, my opinion on Zane Carrick. Oh man, Zane Carrick. I love that dude. He was, of course, the main character from the KOTOR comics. And I think he's really interesting because of his like force disability and how like clumsy and awkward he is. In fact, one of my in my post SWOTOR stories that take place after the SWOTOR RPG and before 3000 BBY, I have a character who's kind of based off of Zane Carrick. He's like a mix of Zane Carrick's connection to the Force and somewhat Corran Horn's. He does have like a Force disability, kind of like him. But yeah, so anyway, I love Zane Carrick. And I would love to have like a story on Zane Carrick and see what he's doing during like the after the Mandalorian Wars with like the Jedi Civil War and like the first Jedi Purge with KOTOR 2. And I also heard rumors that the writers for the the KOTOR comic, they originally wanted Zane Carrick to eventually become the Jedi Exile, but a couple of months later, after the comic came out, that idea was shot down when there was this essential guide. I think it was the new essential guide to droids or something like that. It confirmed that the Jedi Exile was female, but that would have been interesting had he become that character. Oh yeah, so money. Those games are all great. Mm. Yeah, Hello Greedo is pretty big. Oh, dang it. There we go. Considering the guy is spreading misinformation about, like the expanded universe, like that one video where he used that Starlog magazine quote that everyone likes to use who hates the expanded universe. And I love how so many people in the comment section are calling him out. Like, I would have so much respect for Hello Greedo if he actually came out and said, "Oh yeah, I'm wrong. I didn't do as good research," but his ego's too big. But at least Hello Greedo is not as bad as a lot of these Phantom Menace people. Yeah, Papa Wedge, the whole romance thing with Jem, I think her name was weird. Like it just came out of nowhere. Like it's probably my least favorite Luke romance but I don't know, Callista might take that spot when I get to reading the Callista trilogy. So anyway, yeah, Luke, Mara Jade, that's the true couple. That's the true OTP of Luke's relationships. Indeed, Avalon, he did get what he deserved. Oh yeah, Jem and Rafe. It's sad both of them died because like Never mind, I won't spoil it how they die. For those of you who haven't read Dark Empire. Ooh, it looks like Anko Kukishi's here. I don't know if I'm pronouncing your name right. Oh yeah, Dark Empire 2 is enhanced, especially if you read Tales of the Jedi. Man, I was blown away by Tales of the Jedi because I thought it was so cool. It was my one of my first introductions to the idea that you can have Star Wars, but not have, any iconography or characters from the movies. You can have your own standalone thing. And the fact that it was set in a completely different time period, the Old Republic, just I thought it was really cool. Mm. Oh, Papa Wedge, you spoiled what happens to one of the Yusana siblings. Yeah, he tried to attack Palpatine, but he's just like, BAM! Oh yeah, audio. If you send it to me, it's fine. If you can get to me faster, it's all cool. Oh, Papa Wedge, I'm glad you enjoy Zane and Alpkotor comics. Like I said, I want more stories with Zane Carrick. Oh man, Papa Wedge, don't get me started on Legacy. Legacy was great. Like, I love Cade Skywalker. He's just such a fantastic character. You know what's really funny? How expanded universe haters are like, oh, Cade Skywalker's so edgy. Oh, it's so cheesy. But yet these same people have no problem with Kylo Ren. Damn, Dark Sinovia. What a trooper. Buying 4 issues of Marvel 108. Yeah, Papa Wedge. For me, it just depends on what mood I'm in. Like when I'm thinking about which one I like better. Oh God. Yeah, his top worst things in the EU video. Oh my God. It's funny how several of the things he brought up wasn't even part of the expanded universe. Like he doesn't even know that Skippy the Jedi droid was never canon and never part of the EU. And with the whole crying mountain thing, Mount Sorrow, it's like Mount Sorrow was never meant to be taken as a literal crying mountain. It was just how the Ewoks viewed the world around them. It wasn't a literal crying mountain. And it's funny how there's living, breathing, force sensitive mountains in the new canon. Somebody says if Ahsoka was a lesbian, he'll be happy. And you laugh so hard at the Phantom Menace. Man, if they did that, the Phantom Menace would literally turn on their great savior, Dave Filoni. You know what's funny is in my because I do have a few fan created stories and creations within the new canon. Like in my uh in one of my stories, Ahsoka's in it, and I made her openly a lesbian. I mean, it's kind of hinted at in my story, but it's not like outright said. Oh, so that Star Wars girl, she'd when that if that happens, then her Ahsoka profile will change instantly. Yeah, audio. A lot of people confuse opinion and fact. Oh, a murder mystery type movie. And it's saying from the director of Looper and the Last Jedi. You know what's funny, Papa Wedge? I actually have a lot of the TCW comics too, and I heavily critique the show. Wait, what? That Star Wars girl said he can't be sexist because he owns an Ahsoka figure? What? Man. Wait, where was I? Oop, I must have skipped. Where was I? Oh, here we are. Yeah, audio, that's by that logic, exactly. Yeah, Avalon. I have created, like I said, I have a lot of fan-made Star Wars creations. Creating like our own universes is just a great escape. Danielle Mulas says, "Hello Greedo is such a massive tool." Well, I honestly respect him more than the Phantom Menace in some ways. Enko Kukishi says he hated TLJ after the first 10 minutes. Yeah, Luke Warren, I love the episode 3 tie-in game. It's really good. I especially love the multiplayer with where you do like the dueling with the characters. It would have been awesome if they made a game around that where you can play like but more like in depth, a 3D fighter. We have like over well over a dozen Star Wars characters you can choose from, maybe like EU characters too. Like for a movie tie-in game, it's really good. AK Master says Hello Greedo is a tool and Major Lee is an entire toolbox. Oh man, AK Master says what's kind of funny is that Hello Greedo said the casting for the Phantom Menace was perfect, especially Jake Lloyd. What, he really said that? Where did he say that? Danielle Mula says, Iron, what do you think is Antinous Tremaine's ultimate fate? That's a good question. I don't really know much about his character. I read a little bit about him. In fact, one of my first profile pics was Antinous Tremaine. I think it was my first one. I had it as Antinous Tremaine, and then I changed it to Nico Robin, and then another picture of Nico Robin, and then I changed it to Jarek. I love the Yoda death scream in the Lego games. He's like, Luke and Mara, Lara. I like that. That's a good ship name. Papa Wedge. Ugh. No, all those other love interests don't exist. His only love interest is Siri Tachi. AK Master asks, have you seen Steven Universe? I've seen a couple of episodes of it, but I haven't seen the entire series. My sister's a huge fan of Steven Universe. But from what I've watched, I enjoyed it. Mixed Feelers says, do you think they should have held off on post-Endor stories until after George ultimately decided on sequels? I don't know. He never really intended for there to be a sequel trilogy, so I'm fine with him doing post Return of the Jedi stuff. Yes, I completely agree, Daniel or Danielle. Cade is literally what Jake should have been. Disillusioned, but still a badass. Yes. Huh. Jeremy Johns said he read the EU. Wow. Yeah, Papa. That's Papa Wedge. That's one of the things that makes Cade a great character. Yeah, Daniel, I hate it when people bring up Skippy as if it was canon. I'm like, dude, it never was. Do your research. They clearly said that Star Wars Tales is infinities. I mean, there's a few things from Star Wars Tales that did become C canon, but majority of it, including Skippy the Jedi Droid, was non-canon. Yeah, I really did like Morgan Cord's character. It's really interesting how she has like that double life as like an Imperial Moff and like that agent. They should have just kept the EU canon because their whole claim of saying, "Ooh, creative freedom," just ended up being bullshit. And adaptations of the Thrawn trilogy. You know, to be honest, I actually would have loved them to do like a sequel trilogy that bridges Crucible and Legacy. Hmm. Oh yeah, Papa! I completely forgot that Anakin and Tahiri have a romance. I think that's in New Jedi Order. I haven't gotten to New Jedi Order yet, so can't really comment. Yeah, Dave Filoni being in charge, he'd screw up a lot of stuff. Hey, Quantum Kakaroto. Glad you're able to make it to the stream. Oops, I went down. Yeah, Dave Filoni also can't bring himself to kill his own characters too. Like, it would have been much more impactful had Ahsoka actually died on Malachor in Rebels. Like, it would have been cool. Danielle says, agreed, Dave Filoni is overrated AF. TCW is enjoyable, but has a questionable trash and retcons. Yeah, like, the best thing about TCW was always the clone stuff. Like, one of the most memorable episodes of season one was the one where the clones were on that outpost near the Rishi maze. And that one clone trooper, what was his name? Heavy. His sacrifice was great. But yeah, I'm so sick of people just hyping up Filoni, claiming, "Oh, he's this complete expert of Star Wars lore. He understands Star Wars. He's George Lucas's Padawan." Ugh. People just overrate TCW so much and forget about the superior 2003 Clone Wars show. Really? You could tell that Barriss and Ahsoka were into each other. And honestly, I don't care if they did. If Ahsoka and Barriss was an official couple, I wouldn't care. Doesn't really bother me. In fact, make it happen so people can turn on Filoni. Dark Zenobia says Sailor Moon is woke. Changed my mind. And then Anko Kukishi says Sailor Moon was woke before wokeness was a thing. Hmm. I'm still not sure what Antinous Tremaine's ultimate fate would be. Oh, what if he does survive post Return of the Jedi? Or what if he was killed by like a surviving Jedi? Yeah, AK Master. Avatar The Last Airbender was great. And yeah, he did only do a few episodes. Yeah, a Papa Wedge. It's weird. Ahsoka was able to use Tutaminis to absorb like his flame attack for a short. Although to be fair, she was only able to do it for a short time before getting overwhelmed. Kind of like how Starkiller was able to deflect the Force lightning for a couple seconds before being overwhelmed. Wait, does that mean Ahsoka could compete against Galen Merrick? Yeah, Luke. A lot of the fandom menace have barely any, like they barely know anything about the Clone Wars multimedia project because when they assume, ooh, Clone Wars content, they think, oh, TCW, and when they think of expanded universe content, they just think of like stuff like the Thrawn trilogy, and that's it. Uh, Audio Architect thinks my story sounds interesting. I actually haven't wrote it yet. I have everything in my head. In fact, the story itself is not about Ahsoka. The main story is about a Padawan who survives Order 66. Like at first, like Order 66 happens and he's confused. His master gets killed and he turns himself into the separatists and defects the separatist side and fights in one last battle with the separatists. But they lose badly and he barely escapes the battle with his life. And then he does stuff in the Dark Times era, and he actually does team up with Ahsoka to try and like save surviving Jedi. So Ahsoka does appear as a side character, but she is confirmed as lesbian in the story. But yeah, I'm gonna have to write this story, and I'll tell you. I'd love to tell people more about it. All right, I'll just call you Dan. Oh, it is great to have an Italian person on here. Of a local versus mode in Fallen Order would be kind of cool, I guess. All right. Respectful MCU fan asks, "Are you familiar with Eric Butt's reaction to the Rise of Skywalker trailer?" I don't think I've seen that. Oh yes, I agree, Quantum. If we had that fight in the film, that would be so cool. AK Master asks, "Would you rather, or what would you rather have? Someone who's a Disney Star Wars fan and hates the prequels, or someone who's a Disney Star Wars fan and loves the prequels?" Honestly, for the person who hates the prequels, it depends. If they have legitimate criticisms, I wouldn't mind. And also, as long as they're not like a freaking Plinkett fanboy, one of those obnoxious pizza rolls. But honestly, I would take the Disney Star Wars fan who loves the prequels. Somebody asked, "Would you like an open world Star Wars game?" Oh yeah, I'd love one, but we'll probably never get one. That's good. I'd love one that's like an open world RPG, single player, as you play like a smuggler or someone during the Dark Times era who's not a force sensitive. Although if they did add force sensitivity into it, that would be something you'd have to unlock through playing the game as like a side class thing, I guess. Yeah, Papa, I would absolutely love a Star Wars dueling game with those mechanics. Add like all these characters throughout the Star Wars universe and try to create their moves and powers. Oh man. Oh, it was his review that he said that. All right, I'm gonna have to watch his review. I'm actually thinking about reacting to that. Yeah, EU haters do claim that he hated the EU, and that it's not a universe. They like to they like to cherry pick the Starlog quote, and they're like, "See, he says it's not his universe," even though that's completely false. You know what's funny, people, is there's actually a quote where George Lucas says something very similar to what he says in the Starlog quote about TCW. So those people who interpret George Lucas as saying the EU is not canon in that Starlog quote have to interpret George Lucas in that TCW quote as him saying TCW isn't canon. Let me remember what he said in that TCW quote. He said that TCW is not a Skywalker story and that it's not part of the Skywalker story at all. And he also said that that it's in a completely different universe from his movies. Even though that it's not literal, he's not literally saying TCW isn't canon, but like I said, if the EU haters interpret George as saying the EU isn't canon in the Starlog quote, they have to interpret him saying TCW is not canon in that other quote. Yeah, that's true because Jason has different training tactics from being a Sith versus being a Jedi. So that makes sense. And yeah, Jeremy Johns has to be lying. He probably only knows stuff about the EU from like reading articles. He hasn't actually read that much EU. It's also funny, Papa Wedge. People use those that Starlog quote, but they also completely ignore the quote from the Splinter of the Mind's Eye, where he says that the expanded universe is part of his saga. But yeah, it's kind of when using quotes from George Lucas, it's kind of difficult because he always seems to flip flop. All right, where was I? Oh, dang it. Here was I. I bet that Jeremy Johns, aka, has only read the Thrawn trilogy. Oh man, I love that Outlander story. It was like I think the third arc in Star Wars Republic. There was Prelude to Rebellion, and then there was or no, I think it was Prelude to Rebellion, then Outlander, then Emissaries to Malastare. I really want to do a review series of the entire Star Wars Republic because damn, those comics were so good. And it introduced me to Quinlan Vos, and I love his character so much. Man, Quinlan Voss's struggle and story is just fantastic. And oh, Quinlan Voss also gets he gets a really fine lady in the end. Because man, Colleen Hentz is quite fine. Yeah, I really can't wait to get to New Jedi Order Papa Wedge. Because, like, when I read about the concept of the Vong on Wikipedia when I first started getting into the EU during, like, the late 2000s, maybe a little bit before TCW came out, like, I was like, wow, these guys are scary as hell. Although a lot of people hate that they can resist the Force, or like they exist without it, because they're like, it contradicts the idea that the Force is in our life. Free. Audio Architect says, I low key want Kiadi in Battlefront 2 and that to be one of his costumes. Man, Asherad Het in Battlefront 2, that'd be something. Alright, Anka Kokishi. You have fun at work, my dude. Yeah, Filoni is just a fan, not an expert, because the dude got wrong that what's his face? Yularen was a colonel in the ISB, but he saw his uniform and was like, oh, he's a Grand Admiral. So he made him an admiral in TCW. And it's funny is Filoni was so salty towards people when they called him out on that. All right, Papa Wedge, you take care, my dude. Yeah, I remember what's his face? I remember on Minox Nest podcast, there was a guy who would always make a joke about like how Dave Filoni's like, oh, I really like those covers, or something like that. Oh, Karen Travis teaming up with Hayden Blackman and Leland Shee. If those people ran Lucasfilm, damn, it'd be great. It's okay, Dan. If you posted it multiple times, I don't mind. It's okay, dude. Sorry, Submoney. The EU will never be made canon again. We just want it continued. All right. Audio Architects asks, what do you think of Plo Koon's depiction in TCW? And I didn't mind it. One of the only things that bothered me was that Plo Koon was able to survive the vacuum of space without a spacesuit. You know what's funny is that's one of the things that Dave Filoni blatantly ignored from George Lucas. Like, George questioned it and was like, I don't really like that. But Dave Filoni was like, I'm going to do it anyway because I'm in charge. So, another example of Dave Filoni ignoring George Lucas was having Ahsoka live. So, there you go, people. Oh man, Luke Warren, that joke about the Thrawn trilogy toward B level never gets old. And I'm thinking about doing a video about how, like, response to that. I won't directly mention Star Wars girl's name. I'll just respond to the idea that, oh, if you haven't read the Thrawn trilogy, you're not a real EU fan. Yeah, I absolutely loved that Tad Larkin video. Like whenever he makes one of those videos, I'm just like, and especially when they're really long, I'm like, they're great. I actually asked Tad Larkin recently if he wanted to do another collab with me, but he's a busy guy. But um, I really want to. There's this article that was written like in August by this guy called Force Wave. He did a video about, oh, George Lucas didn't consider the EU canon, and it was a biased piece of shit article that was poorly written. But next time I get Tad Larkin available, I really want him on that video with me. I mean, even if I have to wait like 6 months or even more, I want to get him on because I was really glad to get him on my channel for that one video. Audio Architect says Aegon Kolar once said he doesn't believe that one can join the Separatists and remain a Jedi. Perhaps a confrontation between him and your Jedi would be interesting. Well, my Jedi character, my Padawan character I created, like I said, the only reason why he joined the Separatists was because of Order 66. He had nowhere to run and go to, so he went to the Separatist side because he's like, what's going on? Why are my clones betraying me? So, like, yeah, he didn't join the Separatists because, like, oh, I hate the Republic. I disagree with their values. But yeah, it would be interesting if they did meet each other. Oops, sorry, I'm responding to someone real quick. Oh, there we go. Oop, I shifted up again. Where was I? I would love another Star Wars game with Jedi Outcast and Jedi Academy's lightsaber mechanics, but like, do an improvement on it. That would be great, if you ask me. Oh, so anyway, where was I? Oh yeah, so many Battlefront Renegade Squadron and Elite Squadron are fantastic. Better than EA's Battlefront. Although the only problem I have with those games is it doesn't really give you the whole free look camera is kind of annoying. Like it just auto centers. I'm like, I want to be able to look freely whenever I want instead of it just going broop and automatically centering. All right. Yeah, I'm back. Yes, Dan, that would be pretty cool. Like they had the 7 forms, and you can like make your own personalized style too. Yeah, I bet Plinkett will nitpick. Like he nitpicked about that. Yeah, Luke, that episode is considered to be the worst episode of TCW. Well, that's just your opinion, man. Oh man, that butchered Quinlan Voss. Completely butchered him. But yeah, Luke, you should read Star Wars Republic and get to know the real Quinlan Voss and see that badass, brooding character. Oh yes, audio. I'd absolutely love to check it out. In fact, I still have to check out your other dub. I just haven't had time to watch it or listen to it. Where was I? Audio Architect says Colleen Hence is, yeah, she is very hot, but yeah, I actually looked up all the comics she appeared in. She actually didn't appear in that many comics. I If the expanded universe got continued, I'd love to see more adventures of her and Quinlan Voss with their son. Oh man, where was I? Oh yeah, I do agree. Ahsoka should have been Plo Koon's Padawan, no doubt. Like even if she did exist, because like I said, I have no problem with her character. And Dark Sonovi says, you know, one thing I'm sick of hearing is that Rogue One fixed a plot hole in A New Hope. When the plot holes are referring, yeah, the whole thing about what was it? The whole exhaust port thing. Like, it's not a plot hole to begin with. Do people not even know what a plot hole is? People literally don't know. All right. All right. I will see you next live stream, Sub Money. You take care, my man. AK Master asks, Iron, are you going to do live streams monthly? Yep, I do plan on making this a monthly thing. I'm going to do it once a month, and because I don't know, it's just a good thing for me to do, to get in touch with my fans and do stuff like that. Oh, I'm glad the Dark Xenovia's review convinced you. You gotta watch the micro series. It's just so great. All right, I'll see you later, Dan. Audio Architect says, "Did you know Maris Brood was going to be the protagonist of The Force Unleashed 3?" Huh. I was not aware of that. Yeah, Dark Synovia. People should watch the micro series. It's just so sad that it's fading into obscurity, kind of. And the show also did influence TCW to a degree, or actually a lot, I should say. Would I dislike you for letting that other Holocron Keeper Evan change your mind? I don't know. AK Master, I've actually never seen Samurai Jack. I'd love to watch the series. All right. My favorite Star Wars character. That's a really hard decision because there's a lot of really great characters I mentioned in the stream that I really like. hmm. It looks like since I'm all caught up. Don't say Jarek just because. I wouldn't say Jarek is my favorite character. I don't know. Kylo Ren is a terrible ripoff of Jason Solo. Yes, he's also a ripoff of several other things in the expanded universe. Oh, so anyway, oh cool. I can. Samurai Jack is on demand. Well, thanks for letting me know. Well, guys, since it's almost 5 o'clock, I actually might end the stream here. Oh, that was another great stream, guys. Can't wait to see you guys next month for the next one. So, any final questions, people, before I leave? Yes, Kira and Darth Maul are the parents of Rey. It's undisputable truth. It's canon. All right. All right, guys, this is really fun. I think I'll end the stream now.